Yerp.
All right.
Yerp. You here?
Yo, Suave.
Yeah.
We had on last week we said we had 3 of these.
Yep.
So
we did
far,
say that.
yeah. Well, let's best friend this and give the people what they want.
I see what you did there. Wrong company, but yeah, good job.
Let's play a game.
Hey, you know who ain't gonna win. You know who ain't gonna win. You know who ain't gonna win. Just say that again. I know who ain't gonna win. You know who ain't gonna win. You know who ain't gonna win. We say that again. I want 1, 2, 3. Get your ass out. I want 1, 2, 3. Get the gone. 1, 2, 3. Get your ass out. I want 1, 2, 3. Get the gone.
That never gets old.
Never. Not never. Who we sponsored by today?
Oh man, I can't say we're sponsored by them, but by the gift package I received in the mail today. Shouts out to Definition Cigars.
Oh man,
they
send me no gauze and they send me no wings neither.
They lace your boy with a camo trucker cap. You know what I'm saying? The snapback jump and a fresh 4-flame torch for my lighting pleasure. Shouts out to Neo. Shouts out to Jay.
I see. I'm gonna have to send a sternly worded letter to somebody about. Yeah, it's all right.
As many different types of supplies as we be on, I'm happy to be able to say that somebody sent me something. I just need them to send us something that you can benefit from as well.
Actual factuals, because look, I've already said I'm not smoking a cigar until we sign some paperwork.
It needs to be a nice check involved.
Exactly. If there's a buyout ish type situation involved, then I'll smoke a cigar.
We have not touched on this yet.
Other than that, you're waiting for my baby to graduate high school and/or college.
Boy, and I'm bringing those.
Yeah, we find up cigars for that.
I'm bringing those. We have not touched on this, and it's overdue for us to even say something. It's just timing, the way things happen in content land. We'll discuss it a little bit more in detail on episode 215 when we finally release it. But this episode is for WWE Payback, premium live event coming to you live Saturday, September the 2nd. Yeah, my Lord.
Yeah, my Lord.
I said, yeah, my Lord.
Yeah, my Lord.
20 and 20. Tree.
Wiggle wee convenient. Bring me your dinner bucket.
Let the church say.
Amen. All of that. Straight like that.
But this premium live event will be much different than anything that these newer 2 generation of pencil pushers are used to. Why, do you ask? First off, we lost Terry Funk a week and a half ago, and we haven't done a real show to go into detail about that. No worries, no harm, no foul. But kablooey out of nowhere, the very next day, Windham Rotunda, better known as Bray Wyatt, suddenly passed away at the age of 36. This would be the first time an active WWE wrestler has passed away since the unmentionable. So the landscape of WWE storytelling and storylines has changed dramatically over the last 10 days. And I'm sure somehow, some way, Bray Wyatt was to be wiggled back into a storyline, if not this coming weekend, but sometime in the very near future, and all that was stripped away like that. So this episode, as well as episode 215, will be dedicated to the memory and the life and legacy of one Terry Funk and also Windham Rotunda. And we'll do the proper 10-bell salute at the end of this show, as well as episode 215. That's
totally
it. That's it. And as uncallous as possible, I say this: the show must go on. Payback 2023 is upon us. And oh boy, we got some good stuff to talk about here. The card, very short right now. But we are recording this on Friday, September the 1st. Year of our Lord.
Year of our Lord.
I said year of our Lord.
Year of our Lord.
2023.
We could be convenient, bring me.
Yeah. The church thing.
And yeah, man.
Yeah, there.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
There may be some more additions that happen on SmackDown tonight, which is cool. But I can tell you what we have right now. You want to play a game inside of a game, Swab, or do we just going to go ahead and just run this through?
We're gonna do this again. Okay, cool. Let's play a game inside.
Yeah, there we go.
It sound like Jigsaw.
Let's play a game. 1 through 6.
Oh, okay. 6.
For the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship in a Steel City street fight, we have Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, KO Zania as I've been calling them, your tag team champions, taking on Judgment Day representatives Finn Balor, Damian Priest. Suave, who ain't gonna win?
I'm gonna start off giving myself a L. I already know this is because I'm gonna pick with my logic, not with theirs. Terrence and Phillip ain't gonna win.
You know what's crazy, Suave?
What's that?
I think the best thing they can do right now for the tag team titles is to relinquish them. And I dare say this: nothing happens to the relationship between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Not quite yet. We already know there's a fracture between Finn Balor and Damian Priest. And this looks very similar to something you would find if you kind of meld the idea of MJF and Adam Cole with Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara. You kind of mix and mingle those two stories and you get Judgment Day walking out as your winners and new.
I just know one thing for certain, two things for sure. These tag titles would have been better served to stay on the Usos. I don't care what you people say. And I'm glad that you've seen that getting what you want doesn't always mean getting what you need. So for those of you who clamor and cry and moan and boo-hoo about Roman's reign and when it's going to end, the person you give that responsibility to must be able to carry it in a similar vein as their predecessor, meaning creatively, meaning work rate, meaning performance, meaning all of these things. Because once you end this reign, you can't restart it. You have seen that with the tag titles now.
We have seen, I'm about to take you back to another history lesson here. I wonder,
what you wonder, my boy?
I'm trying to remember who the partner was. I want to say back in 1980, I believe 4, possibly even 85. Arn Anderson and Thunderbolt Patterson,
the boat, baby,
were tag team champions. They were NWA National Tag Team Champions. And then when Arn Anderson came into the picture, as Ole's little brother, and they became the Minnesota Wrecking Crew. Somehow, some way, Thunderbolt Patterson no longer fit into the picture. So they squeezed Thunderbolt Patterson out the picture to bring in Arn Anderson, but Thunderbolt and Ole were still the tag team champions. You following with me here so far?
With you.
So they had a match where it was Ole and Arn as Ole as one half of the tag team champions versus Thunderbolt Patterson. And if my memory serves me correctly, it was the Boogie Woogie Man, Jimmy Valiant. And Thunderbolt Patterson represented his side as the tag team champion. And the winning team walked away with both belts. Well, if I can't remember who Thunderbolt Patterson's tag team partner was, I should tell you who walked away with the tag team belts. And let's see, was it?
Get your Google on.
I'm trying to find it. It doesn't say it here on the quick. I'm gonna have to find an answer for you.
Pick me a winner while you're at it. Who ain't gonna win?
Who ain't gonna win is gonna be Terrence and Phillip, as you said.
That's all I need. Terrence and Phillip do not need to continue this reign. This is not even a rain; it's a drizzle.
But I'm bringing.
It's a scattered shower. It's not a rain.
I bring up the Ole Thunderbolt story because what you talking about with the Usos could have been done the same way that Ole and Thunderbolt split the tag team title.
Aha.
This is also the same way I see Damian Priest and Finn Balor playing the tag team titles at odds with each other while still being the champions. Because the next match I want you to pick is number 2.
All right, go ahead.
Seth freaking Rollins, your participation trophy world heavyweight champion, versus Shin Splint Nakamura for the title. Suave, who ain't gonna win?
Let me preface this by saying if Seth Rollins does not main event payback, you don't have a shot for him to main event APLE anytime soon. Just want to put that out there. So can't blame Roman for everything. That's all I'm saying.
Your daily acknowledgement.
In the sky. I got Seth not winning. I ain't scared to take no L. Pause.
So here's why I wanted you to bring this match in next. I have Shinsuke not winning, probably by disqualification. Enough to make Seth's back completely irrelevant.
Seth going useless, on a sabbatical. Right? I feel like the fact that they finally brought that up on television in a storyline form after 4 years, because Seth told that story not too long ago about how that happened. So this is not a storyline thing. He really does have some significant back damage.
I know about your back.
Right. It happened 2018 Hell in a Cell. So that's the Hell in a Cell with Strowman and Reigns, where Lesnar ripped the door off the cage. And then there was you had Ziggler and McIntyre, I think, involved, and Seth and them fell off the side of the cage through a table. Mm-hmm. That's where it happened, according to him. That's where it happened. And he's been dealing with it.
We've talked his praises since then on this show about how he's the Iron Man of WWE. Little did we know what we were touting as being the Iron Man.
No, I mean, you got to give him his card on that.
Oh, absolutely.
Also, in the same breath, let's not throw rocks at the castle of our tribal chief simply because you feel like you ain't got your turn. Because look, they gave you something, and not 6 months later,
here you are having to figure out who to make next. So let me Let me go back on this.
Don't forget this fun fact, because I'll forget it and I won't bring it up again.
Go ahead. So my thought ain't going nowhere. Go ahead.
Per cage match .net, I believe, keeps wonderful stats on titles, title defenses, matches, winners, losers, all that stuff. Do you know that Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins have the exact same number of title defenses in 2023? It'll change after Payback. Seth will be up one, but just not one up on the Chief.
When was Seth handed that title? I'm sorry, when he earned it, handed.
What was the last Saudi show?
Was that Crown Fool?
Something like that. Whenever they went Saudi last, I think that was right after. Was it right after WrestleMania? We got Google's your friend, bro.
I'm trying to remember. What is the name of that title? Oh, here it is.
Night of Champions.
Was it Night of Champions? Was it Night of Champions?
So it was in May. So it was right after WrestleMania.
Yep, May. Wow. So okay, so Roman Reigns in the entire 2023 has the exact same amount of title defenses as Seth Rollins has since May.
So it's like 5. It's not some astronomical number.
It doesn't matter.
Roman performs in the main event of pay-per-views. Seth got a couple off Raw, 2 off Balor, 1 off Braun Breaker. What's the big difference?
I mean, we were lucky to get 4 a year out of Good Try Terry in the mid 80s. Like,
look, it gets really cute to throw these accusations back and forth online because you think you know what a person is doing work-wise. Like, I don't know. I've made this argument I don't know how many times. I'm not gonna stop making it. I don't know anybody who wants to get paid less to work more.
We don't deal or put up with accusations, and most definitely not false accusations.
Tell them
we all log these hours. We put grind into the craft so that one day we can get paid more to do less. Period.
That's it.
So for you to have the stank face and all of this vitriol and venom for Roman Reigns for negotiating the same thing that any other human being in their right mind would negotiate.
It's a story as old as time itself. You're mad because it's not you.
Period. So now you want to come up with these different scenarios to put somebody else in that position. So-and-so deserves it more. So-and-so works harder. These are not, look, it's not an employee of the month designation. It's not a participation ribbon.
Super teams are shunned upon because the people who are shunning them don't have super team caliber, either market share or personnel or the availability of cap space to pull it off. Sorry, not your problem.
Don't make an assumption because you will be and the ump will shun you. Can we stop hating on professional athletes, professional wrestlers, anybody doing well? If you negotiate a situation that is better for you and your family, I 100% co-sign.
If you don't like it, go pay to boo them. You're driving the economy as they are. Needle movers. You see how this works?
Talk with your money. So if everybody was so gung-ho about Seth being the guy, numbers would be up, merch would be up, ratings would be up. You just want something to complain about because you don't like the person that's in the catbird seat. Now I wonder why that is.
I don't care much for Seth Rollins being the champion, but who you gonna put in his place? Please don't say Cody. He'll get there, but it ain't his time right now.
Look, Cody running his lap. We already know where this thing is going to end up.
Yep.
What it comes out in the wash. So for everybody was like, well, so-and-so should be champion. We don't want Roman. When is this reign going to end? They're baking the next guy right now because go ahead.
I was like, check this out. You saw the Cody Rhodes documentary, right?
Did.
What happens to Cody Rhodes in that with that documentary if he wins at WrestleMania?
Give me a little more detail about the question you're asking.
What impact did the documentary, as you saw it, have on you in real time right now?
It gave me a better appreciation for how well groomed he is for this.
For what?
Number one, being a professional wrestler, being the guy as a professional wrestler, not buckling under the pressure of being the guy and a professional wrestler, and for his business acumen as being the guy as a professional wrestler.
So, with all that said, safe to say, you can appreciate the fact now more than ever that he has something to work towards, correct?
Yeah, he's got masterful pedigree.
What happens if he's already achieved that goal and this documentary drops?
It's a footnote. It's the cliff notes to the end of the story.
Like, there's nothing else. You don't want to be multi-time champion. You don't want to have a couple of different runs. There's not anything spectacular or specific different that you want to do with the title runs that you want to have. But you get that one that you win at WrestleMania. Everybody was talking about he should have won at WrestleMania, and this documentary comes out with him winning at WrestleMania. That is his pre-Hall of Fame induction speech. That's it. You have nothing else after that.
It's about building equity, which I can't sit here in front and say Seth Rollins doesn't have equity. That would be a untrue statement. That would be cap, as the kids say. But
well, man, we've talked about Seth Rollins ad nauseum, both bad and good, and it's equal and all deserved.
All factual. What the problem is the narrative which you use to try to justify your worthiness. I want things to be different around here because that's what the WWE universe deserves. Lo and behold, from the start of 2023, Roman had basically a 4 or 5 month head start, but lo and behold, y'all have the same amount of title defenses. Roman's mattered way more. We were breaking attendance records. We were setting box office records. Like the guy who assumes the role after Roman is done with this historic reign is going to have to carry a similar torch. Or you know what? 6 months from the time he becomes champion, he will be losing said championship. Because people are, as Daniel Bryan / Bryan Danielson told you years ago, are fickle.
Oh.
People are fickle. If they are not entertained, engaged, and or irritated by you, you have no equity with them. And when you have no equity with them, you might as well not even be there.
Here's how equity works. You ready for this?
Come on with the real estate.
Shinsuke is too valuable to defeat Seth Rollins by pinfall, only to lose the championship in the way I'm about to describe.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying.
This match better go on last, and the match we talked about first better go on first.
If it don't, I'm willing to argue he may never main event another pay-per-view ever.
Man, he'll be second fiddle.
Your last shot is a main event with Roman.
And we've all been waiting on the one-on-one on the real deal. But Shinsuke, that's why I said Shinsuke will not win by DQ. But he hurt Seth in the process to the point where we get a cash in. And then Seth ain't gonna win the cash in.
I can see that. I could, as much as I like Shinsuke and I want Shinsuke to get a full reboot, reset as a a foreign menace, I very much can see what you just laid out being what happens, where Shank comes up just short, but he does all the damage that ends up being the demise.
This is Shinsuke putting the quarter into the machine, waiting for the game to actually start. When that game starts, we're going to get that reboot that you're talking about. Meanwhile, new champion.
That part. I still say if this is going to happen the way we say it's going to happen, and Seth really is going to take time off to physically heal, first of all, speedy recovery. You've given obviously more than you ever needed to. Get healthy, be healthy, not just for the fans of professional wrestling, but for you, for your family,
for the family spouse, first and foremost,
for your quality of life. Be better. I also say Finn should have been the guy. Story-wise, it made all the sense in the world, and you would have still been able to do whatever you're going to do with Damian Priest. Actually, it might have ended up being more intriguing with Damian Priest basically playing the heater for all of Finn's title defenses, but he's just really hanging around for his opportunity.
I really wish this version of Finn were smarter than what we're seeing on TV, and were able to make a stupid Damian Priest lose his contract, his Money in the Bank contract, through something really slick, like, I don't know, Finn stealing it and cashing it in because it belonged to the organization, to the faction.
I know what I feel like would be hilarious is if Finn got really smart and decided to say, well, if it's about Judgment Day, if we don't win these tag titles, we should use the Money in the Bank to cash in and take the tag titles anyway. So like during the street fight, they end up losing the street fight for some sort of fluke. And at the end of it, Finn is trying to convince Damian Priest to use the Money in the Bank to cash in to finish off Terrence and Phillip.
Just to prove allegiance and loyalty, bruh.
But it would have been even better if Finn was already champ.
You know that's a one-way ticket to a Finn Balor Damian Priest WrestleMania co-main event or one-night main event for the World Heavyweight Participation Championship. You know that, right?
What's the problem?
I see none. I see absolutely none.
And you know what?
Suave, if that happens, Suave, I may buy you a ticket to fly out here.
Don't threaten me with a good time. So at this point, what I'm like, that's good and funny.
Oh man,
yeah, it just would have been better if Finn was already World Heavyweight Champion. But now, when Damian Priest becomes World Heavyweight Champion, I'm going to stop calling it a participation ribbon.
Yeah, because someone actually earned it, and it wasn't earmarked for him. Well, I actually kind of was.
Somebody didn't publicly campaign for it off the strength of the hate of another person. Like, we hate this guy so much, so let's make me champ. I'll be different.
All right, we got 6 and got 2 out the way. Give me 1, 3, 4, or 5.
4 more years.
Campaign. Rey Mysterio, United States Champion versus Austin Theory. Suave, who ain't gonna win? Careful with your thoughts.
Austin Theory.
I'm actually going against you on this one.
I don't see why, but
Rey Mysterio ain't gonna win, and it's gonna be because of Santos Escobar.
You think Santos turning right now?
That's it. This is
kind of why I wish Dom was on the same brand as Rey still, because this would be a great opportunity to put some more gold on Dom. Dom should be dripping in gold. North American champion, United States champion,
IC title.
No, that's too much dip on your chip.
Oh man!
But he can participate in the Freebird rule as a tag champion. See what happened?
Yeah.
Win, lose, or draw, we need to throw those tag titles in the garbage, and we need something new because everybody else got new. I'm sick of looking at the dimes,
man. The dimes have been around since they were pennies.
And they need to be Judgment Day so they can get these purple straps.
A la Jeff Hardy and TNA.
A la the 205 Live title. Like we had good things going. We just didn't capitalize.
Man. I got Ray getting jobbed out by Santos Escobar in a fit of revenge.
I don't see any reason for this to happen right now because if Payback is this Saturday, how do you bounce back from that? Once Escobar, turns, where do you schedule the match between Escobar and Mysterio to actually garner some attention and some money?
Saudi.
That don't do nothing for me.
It don't do nothing for you, but Rey Mysterio is a king with the prince.
Rey Mysterio as a Hall of Famer, as the United States champion, wrestling insert name here would be dope in Saudi. You know how this go.
I do.
Saudi buys the groceries. Stanford cooks the meal.
I'm standing on business on this one.
Stand on business. I'm just saying,
All right. 1, 3, or 5. Odd numbers. Let's go. 1, 3, or 5.
5.
In your sleeper match of the night, The Miz versus L.A. Knight. Hold on, see if I get it. Yeah.
It's pretty close. You know what will be absolutely gut-wrenchingly hilarious if this was the main event?
Listen. As I was introducing this match, I almost said this could be your main event. I almost said this should be your main event, but I took the dip off the chip, if you will.
Because, okay, let's be real about it. There's no bloodline involvement in this card. So which is
also a misnomer for the card that we have. I digress. Continue.
It's an opportunity for new, fresh, and things of that nature as far as the main event is concerned, and just as far as the people that are featured on the card. It's no different than what we said about All Out. Now, because of the title and the person, it should be Seth Rollins, because like I've said, if he doesn't main event this PLE, I don't necessarily see a situation other than versus Roman where he would main event a PLE. However, if you are trying to give a litmus test to the star power of one LA Knight, put him under the heat lamp and see what color he changes. We know Miz can carry his water in a main event situation. We've seen him do it. We saw him do it through the SmackDown era of pay-per-views back in like 2017. We saw him do it.
You can stop with all the accolades. The only 2-time Grand Slam champion in WWE history. Stop right there.
I mean, there is that. So he can carry his water, and that's the whole reason this feud is going on. The whole reason there's an inter-promotional feud going on is because you needed somebody who could carry their water in the ring as well as on the microphone with LA Knight.
Yeah. All right. So who ain't gonna win?
Oh, Miz ain't gonna win.
Sad.
What you mean, bro?
You strapping a rocket to LA Knight and just you got to get the LA Knight versus Damian Priest sometime by the end of the year with the belt on the line.
By the end of this year, not a chance.
Okay. All right.
Not a chance.
I
do have LA Knight as like he's moved up for me as like potential Royal Rumble winner. He just got to not blow it between now and January.
Seth Rollins should be back by then.
From fractured what?
Stop. He's been wrestling for 5 years. 3 months off would do wonders.
Syrup, painkiller, cigarettes, weed, Hennessy, vodka.
You're saying
he gonna need to be on everything to get back.
If home is truly Davenport, Iowa, still, he can go across the river to Illinois and go grab some legal weagle.
understand me when I say this. It's not about procuring the supplies. If his injury is as such that there is going to be any incisions made in his back area, you will not see him until WrestleMania season. And him wrestling is not a guarantee. He might be on the New Year's episode of what we call New Year's Day, being the day after WrestleMania. That's probably when you would see him if he has anything that has to do with incisions and or surgery on the lower back.
Let's hope that he doesn't. That's what I'm saying. Like, if he doesn't, he just needs to chill. 3 months will work wonders for that back. If he has to go to the ninth, yeah, I'm absolutely with you. New Year's Day is the return of...
We talking about fractures, my boy.
Yeah.
In some very sensitive areas.
1 or 3. I warn you, both these women's matches, so go.
3. That was unnecessary.
For the women's world championship,
whoever not named Rhea Ripley, just skip it. Whoever not named Rhea Ripley.
That's easy. And then finally in the steel cage match, I don't know why we keep blowing this match off. Well, I say
because you have to take lemons and turn them into lemonade. That is the only explanation I can come up with.
Episode 215. Remind me to talk about that.
We're going off the glass. I promise. It's going to be worth it. Oh, y'all so lucky it's PLEs and pay-per-views taking up these 2 weeks. Like, ooh wee. There's going to be some smoke in the city. I promise you.
Swap.
The Jason Kidd inside stuff pass.
I'm getting winning time vibes over here, man. 32.
I have got to start that show.
Do yourself the solid. We're halfway through season 2 right now.
That's the other part we need to get together. It's a mixtape of shows I need to start because I know you gave me some recommendations and I probably got 1 or 2 for you.
215, episode 215.
Bet.
On the list too.
Done deal.
For bragging rights, Trish Stratus versus Becky Lynch in the steel cage. Swap, who ain't gonna win?
Trish Stratus.
Us ain't gonna win.
Nah. Here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
The mic work is where we don't win. Simply because for whatever reason it's just not clicking. It's not connecting. And I don't even think it's any of the performers' fault. I don't know what. It's
Trish just never really had good mic game though.
I mean,
like being confident, being able to make a promo is one thing. Being able to do a good one is something completely different.
How many times have you really have you really seen her have to be a heel and cut promos like that?
I mean, it's been 20 years.
Exactly. But even when she did do it, like the 2 times I can think of, one, she was like a
tweener.
Not a tweener. She was a personal assistant to Mr. McMahon type situation. So that was one. Not a lot of speaking. You just got to look the part. Second was with the right around WrestleMania 20 with Jericho and Christian, where she turned on Jericho. Not a lot of speaking involved. Christian was the mouthpiece. She just had to look the part. At no point in her career has she ever had to really just cut heel promos. I don't think they're bad. I just think the fans have a certain...
Did you watch Raw this past Monday?
Not in its entirety.
Yeah, okay.
I saw the one before that. Couldn't have been no worse.
Watch that segment and get back to me.
How they handled her, and were they in Canada when they did that?
Yes.
How they handled her then can't be any worse. Like watching this past one can't be any worse.
The fact that you said that they handled her inherently makes Monday worse because they could care less this past Monday.
They handled her like they could care less.
There was no reaction.
Canada likes to hijack shows. I'll watch it. I will go out of my way to watch it just to settle this debate. But yeah, you can't. There's no way. There's nothing worse than what's already happened. And I don't think any of what's been done is bad. It's just not connecting because that's not a natural Okay, you know the same way people didn't want to buy into Ronda Rousey as a face. And I'm not even cracking jokes. I'm being dead
I'm with you.
But that same way, it's a fish out of water. We don't want you as a face, so we're going to turn our back on it. We don't care about this. As soon as you go back to, dropping people on their head, fine, cool. Then we can talk about it. Same thing with Trish Stratus. People want legends. People want legends to be exactly how you remember them.
Trish ain't gonna win.
There you go. Come on.
And I also will add that we may see the return of Lita.
That's what I was hoping for. That's the other end of this. So that means you're probably going to get another match after this.
And it's probably going to be Trish and Lita. One last time.
Take that back. You got 2 matches after this. You're going to get a tag match with Trish and Zoe Stark versus Lita and Becky. Then you're going to get Trish and Lita on maybe a main event of Raw as a homage.
And then you'll get Becky and Zoe in a pay-per-view match. Because I won't even front. Zoe's getting it handed to her on TV.
She earning her stripes.
Yeah, she could benefit from a pay-per-view match with Becky Lynch because she's getting to that point where she deserves that.
Last one. Yeah, well, that was the last match.
Yeah, that's it. Show at brokenpistolbc.com, brokenpistolbc@gmail.com, at brokenpistolbc on all things social. That's at brokenpistolbc on what?
Everything.
Thank you to all the pencil pushers that are out here, the new ones, because we got a bunch of them. Y'all are gang green, recognize and realize.
Because where the gang goes.
The gang goes. And let me see if I can find this real quick. I don't even know if I have it on here. I'm sure I do. Man, this thing, I'll tell you about age. I guess I've had this thing for a few years now. It's like it's trying to slow down, but I haven't done anything to it in 3 years. It's amazing how that works. Suave, tell them what to do and take them to the house, and then we'll go ahead and give them that 10 bell the correct way.
Like, rate, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend, then tell that friend again. Pencil pushers, heads up, pencils down.
Rest in peace, Terry Funk. Rest in peace, Windham Rotunda.